You must be Mark.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Tom.
Hey, Tom, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, but I'm feeling better now that you're here.
All right, well, great.
Can I tell you a little bit about these steps?
Sure.
So, first off, we've got this great home, great neighborhood.
It's nice.
And I actually really love these stairs. I think I've been here now 12 years.
Okay.
I do my best to take care of them. I did a little repointing, learned a little bit here and there. But something's happening on this tread. That's when I thought, I'm over my skis. I need a little bit more help.
All right. Well, first of all, I think you did a great job keeping these steps intact. And what we want to do is figure out why we do have the problem. So the first thing I looked at is you can see these treads. You can see the face of these treads, how they have debris and dirt on them.
Yep.
Okay, that's actually a good sign because that means the treads are tipped properly and the water is running down the steps. When we get to the problem tread, you can see
it's nice and clean right here on the face.
so that means water is not running off.
Going the wrong way.
And also, I know we had rain a couple days ago. I can still see remnants of a puddle right there. Indicates to me that everything is being pitched back. One of the problems is that you'll develop a crack in the back. Once you get water behind that crack in certain type of weather, like winter, we experience the freeze-thaw situation, and that's what's pulling this tread towards the walkway. And if you step over here, Tom, you can actually see the pitch of the stone going backwards, and if you follow this, you can see the damage created by the water. When the ice gets behind it, it pushes it out, it takes the brick with it. What we're gonna have to do is remove that tread and really find out what's going on.
Can I ask you one more thing?
Sure.
Something else that's kind of been worrying me is these railings. Are we in trouble here with these railings and the stairs, or is that going to be okay?
So great question. If you look at this railing, okay, that's really stuck into the ground. It's really stuck into the granite up there as well, so that's a plus. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Nice.
All right?
Well, how do we get started?
So why don't you jump over there?
All right.
I'll jump over here, and we're just going to try to tip it forward. Okay, now bring it to me. Okay, just as I suspected, some of these brick want to come with us, but that's fine. So now just twist out and pull back. Keep going. All right, we ended up taking some brick with us.
Is that right?
Bend your knees, and then just flip it up. All right. Hey, Tom, look at this.
Wow.
So this is all water damage. Mortar is supposed to get very hard as it sets up. But when you have moisture damage like we have here, this is what happens. First off, we want to get all this loose material out.
Okay.
So usually these mortar beds should come out in pieces.
You mean it's not supposed to be like play sand?
Yeah, we're taking it out as dust. Yep. Just go right back to the bucket with it.
Got it.
So I'm getting down to some solid stuff. But look at this, Tom, I found a broken brick.
Oh, it just crumbled, wow.
So just crumbling, and again, this is more classic masonry water damage. This is what happens to bricks. You can see remnants of the joint up here. We're gonna have to take that stuff out. Sometimes I like to use the back of my brick hammer as a chisel. Look at all this extra stuff I just pulled.
Yeah, wow. So you just keep going until it won't come anymore.
Until we get solid, solid, solid. Another thing we want to make sure we do is test all these brick, just a pull test, and make sure they're solid.
Yep, these feel really good.
All right. Now that we have the tread out and we have it basically cleaned up, I'm looking at this joint. You can see it's no good, right? And it goes all the way to here, and then it gets good. So if you want to take this chisel and start hitting down on it, you'll see that it comes out pretty easily. There you go. And don't forget, we have to go at least 3/4 of an inch deep. Okay, this happens sometimes. The joint has switched on us. This is a lot harder on this end, so I think we're going to switch to a HEPA and a grinder. So now we're ready for repointing. We have to get the mortar all the way back to make contact with the existing mortar. So don't be afraid to push it in as hard as you can.
Now, how do I know if I'm all the way back?
Because it starts to pooge out just the way it is.
And I think this is probably a good time to do this. It's okay if I make a mess down here,
That's right, we're gonna clean up. All right, Tom, I'm gonna show you a little trick.
All right.
Sometimes when you get to these corners, the mortar wants to fall out. Put that trowel up there against that, you have something to go to now. All right, so Tom, I like to wait until I can see my fingerprint on that mortar. That means it's good to go. But right now, we're gonna put what we call a concave bevel joint. And you can see that this joint now matches all the other joints. We wanna make sure we ride the heel and just feel it out, but we wanna make sure it stays even. So you don't wanna go too deep, but you don't wanna be too shallow. Excellent, excellent. Okay, I think we're ready to brush the front.
Kind of knock down the high stuff
Just
here.
knock down the high stuff. Some of that stuff we call snots. That's great. You can see that we had a little overrun on the mortar. The only way that's gonna go away is if we sponge it. Now, one thing I want you to notice is I'm not hitting the masonry joint itself. So all we wanna make sure we do is stay on the edge of the brick. We're gonna take this joiner and we're gonna do what we call a slick. See that slick right there? When we do that slick, it actually waterproofs that mortar joint. Because this mortar is old, we're gonna wanna wet it down. That way it won't suck the water out of the mortar that we put the tread on. Now we're ready to lay some brick. Level. And now, joints are perfect. And again, I'm gonna joint now, because it's going to be easier for me.
So can I work towards you while you work towards me?
You can. So now it's time for the tread, but before that, we got to put a mortar bed down. And don't forget, our original problem was pitch. Give you a little toss right there. Time for the tread. Granite doesn't bond that well to other masonry products, so what a lot of masons do is they'll use what we call a glue. It's Portland cement and water. All it needs to be is just a coating. And again, I want to make sure I get all the nooks and crannies.
A little more?
I'll take a dab. Yep, right where I wanted it.
All right.
I'm going to hit this blob. Go right down. Great. Just help me wiggle it a little, Tom.
Are you pushing down as you wiggle, or just
I'm pushing
wiggle?
down as I wiggle, and I'm pushing down on the front side. Okay, there's my quarter bubble. Make sure you have the same.
I have a quarter bubble.
Yeah, great. Okay. Couple things we have to check is the overhangs. This is a 2-inch. 2's got to go that way to you. See what you have? Just match it to the step above it.
I've got like 2 1/4. I have, yeah, just about 2 3/8 there.
Okay, great. We left this joint open on purpose but we want to close it in. So what we're going to do is take those flat joiners and we're really going to pack this entire joint.
All right.
All right, Tom, what do you think?
Oh, I love it. It looks great, and it feels good to know that it's a step again, and it's pitched the right way, and it's going to shed the water.
Great. Well, I'm going to leave you with a little bit of homework. Wait 28 days for this to cure. After that, get a power washer out here, clean up some of this green mossy stuff, a little bit of that rust. You'll be good to go.
Oh, thank you very much.
All right.
Yeah.
So if you have questions, we'd love to hear from you, so keep them coming. Until next time, I'm Mark McCullough for Ask This Old House.
Thanks for watching. This Old House has got a video for just about every home improvement project, so be sure to check out the others. And if you like what you see, click on the subscribe button. Make sure that you get our newest videos right in your feed.